But yeah. All right. Should we get into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
All
do
right.
this.
Cashews.
Cash
Nope, we don't
juice.
say that anymore.
Oh, because Dane Cook
Because of Dane Cook.
being a creepy
Bad.
pervert who preys
Yeah.
on young women. And
Feel like that was common knowledge for the past 2 decades.
well,
Fuck yeah.
thermos, whatever.
Lana. Lana.
Hmm.
Do you want to get ants? Because that's how you get ants.
And we're not doing phrasing anymore.
So I pulled that mug out. I'm like, I'm using my ISIS mug. Christina was like, what? She thought I bought a mug from the terrorist group to support the terrorist group.
I'm sure that's on like Redbubble. We can make
I mean,
that happen.
Terrorist groups are known for their mug making quality.
Yeah.
Dude, they know how to merch, man. They got that drip.
They know how to diversify.
Not really.
Like, everyone knows the starter kit for terrorists is a kiln and a pottery wheel.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
That's
then
true.
that's quickly followed by opium.
Yep. Yep. You'd think gunpowder would have been like a lot higher on the list, but it's actually number 12.
Yeah. No,
They're thinking about moving it down for a second batch of clay.
Fuck yeah, brothers. All right. What is that? Wind.
It's his wind.
Damn. You know,
Yeah,
wind.
suck.
Wind's so
Yeah,
powerful.
dude.
Yeah. Shit, they don't call it the Windy City for nothing.
Shit
I mean,
sucks.
Yeah.
That's mostly because of the politicians.
Yeah, that's true. Full of hot air. Which, by the way, I've been recording for like the past 10 and a half minutes, just so you know,
I
Derek.
figured I could tell. I could tell. Because
Amazing.
there was a way that you answered earlier, and I was like, he's recording.
Yeah.
I can tell.
You can always tell. You can always tell.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Because when I say you've learned to to start recording early, because you know I'm going to say some stupid shit to try and get it out of my system.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, that wind is awful.
Dude, it is deafening.
That's making my butthole just squidge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a dolphin's.
Dude.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
I'll open it. I'll open it back up for now.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
He will. He will do it just to shut us completely down.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, fuck. I love the energy we got today. Which brings us to... What's up, everybody? Welcome to Night Off. It's your boys. It's Alex. It's Derek. It's Walsh. Today, I got something that I think is kind of prescient and important to talk about. We're talking about Sting. We're recording this ahead of time before Revolution for the folks at home, but today is the day of his last match. By the time you're hearing it, this has already happened. It was yesterday, but
It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was probably amazing because it's Sting, and he's 65 years old as of the 20th of this month, and God, it's been 38 years since his debut, November 25th, 1985. The man has been wrestling longer than I've been alive, longer than you've been alive.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude. So I figured today would be a good day to give the man his flowers, you know? The surfer.
He's the icon.
Yeah, the surfer, the vigilante, the joker, the icon, the man called Sting. Born in Southern California. Well, actually, no, he was raised in Southern California. I think he was born in like Nebraska, actually. But he's kind of unique in the world of wrestlers today, in that like he was 26 when he got his start, and he had like no prior knowledge really to wrestling. He was a bodybuilder. He was doing like a desk jockey position at like a Gold's Gym he was managing when this dude, I've got it here, Rick Bassman came in looking for bodybuilders to recruit to be wrestlers so he could like sell them off to like WWE or one of the other territories at the time. Uh,
That's awesome.
yeah, it is pretty awesome. Uh, but yeah, the story goes like Sting had no idea what wrestling was when this dude came in, and he's like, just come with me to a show and you'll see what it's about. So you got like a couple of like other like muscle-headed dudes to go to a WWF show at the time in LA. Uh, they were wearing like muscly t-shirts for like Gold's Gym, I think, and just like, you know, having a couple of beers, having a grand old time. That's where he saw like, you know, Hulk Hogan and Iron Sheik and like all these dudes, and just was like, okay, I get it. I get it. And he was sold on the idea. Um,
That makes sense.
yeah. Yeah. The original idea was like four like muscle dudes who were just, you know, big beefcakes to get like sold off to like whatever promotion. And it ended up only being two of them. It was Sting, or at the time he was known as Flash, and his buddy Jim Hellwig, who at the time was called Justice. Uh, yeah, they loaded up his T-Bird with whatever they had and drove to Memphis and started working. Um, Pretty quickly, they renamed themselves to Sting and Rock, the Blade Runners. And
Nice.
yeah, that's where we kind of got like the first like incarnation of like Sting as people would know him in Memphis, where he had like the face paint and the neon colors and like all this kind of stuff going on. And they worked as a tag team for a little bit. Like I think it was like mid '86 that Hellwig would go off to other promotions until eventually he landed at WWE and would become the Ultimate Warrior pretty shortly after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sting went off to like NWA and Jim Crockett Promotions, and that's where he like started meeting people like Ric Flair and the Great Muta, and really started to like build his stock up. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say he got to meet some greats back in the day that really kind of helped refine the image he would later put together,
Yeah. Like
especially in the early '90s.
yeah, like almost like right away too. Like once he got to like NWA is where he really started to kind of like figure out the business. Um, he was kind of unique in the aspect of like he was one of the first like super athletic like muscle dudes in wrestling. Like he wasn't like a super technical wrestler like at any point in his career, but he was like he was one of those dudes that was like Michael Jordan, like jumping from like the free throw line for the stinger splash. You know, he was leaping like halfway across the ring when a lot of guys
Oh
couldn't
yeah,
do that.
yeah. I mean, this is during a time where like because WWE's always been like body style wrestling, but like
Hmm.
you had to be huge.
Yeah.
So most of these guys, you're seeing like leg drops.
Hmm.
You're seeing like choke slams. You're seeing simple maneuvers that they can use their big strength to make look even bigger.
Yeah.
But Sting, man, he came in and he was just able to fly across the freaking ring. Crazy early matches.
Yeah. And like I think that's probably why he kind of settled into being like a perennial baby face at that point in time, because he was because originally like when they were like the Blade Runners and they were first showing up in like the smaller Memphis promotion, they were heels
Mhm.
because big muscly dudes weren't the norm at that point in time in that territory. They were kind of like outsiders. So they're like, okay, we're gonna be heels. And then Sting quickly got over as being like, oh no, this dude's fucking amazing. Let's they wanted to cheer him. That's just what happens.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome when you find someone who is trying to be a heel and they're like, no, 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 no. The fans, we just want you as a face. Like it speaks to his riz, honestly.
Yeah. And like the early days, the flashy jackets, the face paint, the bright colored like neon tights, like he figured out like kind of how to work pretty quickly and like develop his character, which by all like reports like it was not like him at all. Reportedly like to all the guys like, you know, behind the scenes and whatnot, like Sting was, quiet, reserved, kind of like kept to himself, wasn't really like a loud, bombastic dude, just, nice, well respected, didn't cause a fuss. Uh, Even during the heydays of his quite possibly almost debilitating addictions when he
Uh-huh.
got into like somas and booze and steroids. Because I mean, let's face it, at that point in time, everybody was on the gas.
I was gonna say it's wrestling during the '80s and early '90s, man. It's to be
Hmm.
expected. Be
Yeah,
expected. All of them. All of them.
yeah. That's also like the point in time where like you got Sting really kind of building the tropes of his character of like, oh no, I'm gonna partner with somebody and then get betrayed. Except for RoboCop. RoboCop didn't turn on Sting.
That's because RoboCop is like inherently a face.
Yeah,
Inherently a face.
I saw a look on Walsh there. Yes, Sting tag teamed with RoboCop Walsh.
Uh huh.
Like the RoboCop.
Yes, the RoboCop.
Yes. The RoboCop.
I'm s- I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, he saved him from like a steel cage or something like that back in like
Yeah.
NWA. Oh, it was promoting
Oh,
like
dude.
the
So
first movie, I want to say.
it's either the first one or the second one.
Yeah,
It's one of the two.
it was
Wait, like the first remake or the original?
the original.
OG.
Man,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Like rubber costume.
Yeah, dude. The plastic costume where he couldn't really walk.
Serious.
So not exactly the most flashy person to have in your corner.
But at the time, though, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I
But-
mean,
now it looks like really weird and dumb. But at the time, God, that must have been awesome. You're like, holy shit, he's with fucking RoboCop.
that's RoboCop. You know.
Like mind blown.
Mm-hmm. Um, but like, what?
What'd you say?
RoboCop, is he gonna shoot someone? I'd be worried.
I would be worried. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that somebody pulled a gun in a wrestling ring, and it wouldn't be the last. I've seen it a couple of times.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like he's gonna be able to ricochet the bullet around to hit who he needs to and keep everybody else safe. Because I've seen him do it.
I've seen him do it probably about 84 times in our RoboCop movie.
Yep, yep. That is one of the best cuts ever.
Oh, dude. That whole scene is like 10 times too long, and that's what makes it fantastic.
It's so fucking good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's like a dream of mine.
It's a recurring dream of mine. I'm
So-
haunted by it.
So many dick shots.
Yeah. Endless dick shots. It's where you developed your technique for playing first person shooters.
Yep. It's just dick shot, dick shot, dick shot, dick shot, dick shot. Oh, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And that's like a 1/millionth of the amount of dick shots that happen. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I mean, Ed and Derek could go back through of what you just did and put it on a loop for about 5 minutes, and that'd be about the same thing.
Yep. He's not going to do that, audience, for the podcast.
He
Yeah,
might.
no, he could. He could
He might.
if he wanted to. We'll see what kind of mood he's in when he's editing this.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah. But yeah, like those were like the early days, the Surfer Sting that like was the super over, white meat baby face that kind of ruled WCW, NWA kind of became the face. But then like the 90s, like the shift started to happen and Hulk Hogan came in the WCW and like, okay, well, obviously Hogan's going to be like our number one, draw and whatnot. Sorry, Sting. No fault of you. And he felt the need to start like shifting his character when, I mean, if we're being completely honest, at this point in time, he could have rode like that Surfer Sting gimmick for like the rest of his career. And this was at like probably like the peak of his popularity with that character too. But he decided
Yeah.
that like, okay, I'm probably going to need to make a change. I see the writing on the wall. And the idea started to take shape like behind the scenes. He stopped dyeing his hair. He started growing it out. It wasn't like the super like white blonde crew cut anymore. It was like the natural color and getting down a little bit. But it was Scott Hall actually who gave Sting the idea for what his new persona really needed when he asked him if he'd seen the '94 movie The Crow. And
Yep.
reportedly, like, Sting, took it to heart, watched the movie, and was just like fully enamored at that point. Like, he went into like research mode and like read the comics, looked around to try and get like as much understanding as possible, and really invested himself into it. Um, but what he had to kind of like do was they had to put the wheels in motion before like Surfer Sting was gone forever. Like before there was no more like neon tights, no more colorful face paint. Um, so NWO was formed with Hogan doing that like heel turn that is memorized forever, where he's like, "Who is the third man?" like type of thing.
Yep.
Um, that's where things started to shift, and kind of what happened was there was a Sting that seemed to betray his own morals, his own sense of like justice, and joined Hogan, Nash, and Hall to like topple WCW. Um, but like Sting was like making the case that like no, that wasn't me. Like so, there's an imposter Sting and then like real Sting. Like conflict is happening between like his friends that are in WCW, like you got like Lex Luger and like all that kind of stuff, where they're like not buying his story. Like there was one where he like attacked somebody in like a parking lot, and then like the next week Sting's like, "No, it wasn't me. Like I wasn't even in that town with you guys. Like I got delayed on like a flight or something like that." Um, but that just kind of seemed to like sow confusion and stuff until eventually there was it was a 4-on-4 match with like NWO versus like some of the WCW guys like Lex Luger and shit. Um, and the NWO made the case that like no, our fourth man is going to be Sting, and Sting's like no, I'm not. What the hell are you? How is that possible? And then like they do like the whole shenanigans where like okay, the fake Sting comes out with the NWO, and then the real Sting comes out and he's like, see, what else do I have to fucking do for you people? And he like takes on like each one of like the members of the NWO, and he's just, like starts screaming in Lex Luger's face and shit. He's like, "What more do I have to do, huh?" And then he cuts like another promo like a week later where he's like, he kind of like, "Why is everyone betraying me? Like, what have I done against you guys? Like, this is clearly what more evidence do you need? Screw this. I'm declaring myself a free agent," and he fucked off to Japan for a little bit. Um, yeah, and
Oh
then
yeah.
yeah. But like the thing is like in
Oh,
that what happens is like the NWO is still using this fake Sting. And it's like in October where we get like the first like hint of Crow Sting. He comes out basically and there's like fake Stings in the ring like doing his thing, and he's still got like the Surfer Sting shtick going. He's doing like all the mannerisms and he's got the face paint and whatnot. And real Sting comes out in the black trench coat. He doesn't quite have the like full Crow face paint at this point. It's more like from like his nose down and kind of like doing like almost a half face of just black and white. But he's got the trench coat and he's got like the all black attire like already working. Kind of comes
This
out.
is alpha model right here.
Yeah, basically. He comes out and he does like his new finisher, the Scorpion Death Drop, which is the first time he ever did it. He cuts a promo in the ring. He's like, uh, he said something about fake Sting being a cheap imitation, like you because you can't afford the real thing. The only thing that's for sure about Sting is nothing's for sure, and that's like the last time he says anything on TV for a full year. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Whole year.
Yeah, a whole year he doesn't say anything. The next year he doesn't even really have any matches or wrestling whatsoever. He's just kind of like hanging out in the rafters. He gets the like the full corpse paint pretty quickly after this, but he's like kind of like stalking people up in the rafters of like whatever arena they're in, and he starts sort of like testing like WCW wrestlers. He'll like make his way to the ring from like the crowd, or uh, come down to the ring like normally or something like that, he'd kind of like pull out his bat and just kind of like prod people in the chest, and then like spin it around, hand them the handle, and then just kind of like present his back to them. And then if they go to like take a swing at him, he ducks it and like beats the shit out of them. But if they don't, he just kind of like gives them a nod and like takes his bat back and just fucks off to wherever he's hiding.
I actually kind of remember that a little. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like didn't he do that with Luger when he came back in? And
Yeah.
Luger swung on him, didn't he?
No, Luger. He looked like he was gonna swing at him, but like kind of like got pulled back a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a split with like the Steiners too, because I believe it's Rick Steiner was another one of Sting's early tag team partners back in the day. But yeah, this goes on for like a year, and then he starts like kind of amping things up, where he starts like he starts sowing like seeds of doubt of whether or not he's like whose side he's really on. Before he like full on like turns on like the NWO, and he starts repelling from the rafters and like coming in like swinging his bat, just like, no, fuck you, I'm not letting your shenanigans take over and shit like this. Like he goes full on like Batman, Superman, like superhero shenanigans, where like he's unbeatable, but he's also like doing the like using fear to sow doubt. Um, and eventually, like the NWO is trying to use like the fake stings, and then Sting himself is starting to bring in fake stings, where he's got like people in like Sting masks and wigs, and he's faking people out, and like sometimes he'll be under like one of the Sting masks, and just to like fuck with people. It's amazing, like the level of mind games that he goes through during this era. I can't remember what show it was. I want to say it was like a Bash at the Beach or something like that, but it was like this outdoor pay-per-view. He comes in on a helicopter and rappels down to the ring to fuck people up. It's so badass.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, like straight up, like Sting at this point in time is a force of nature.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. But this is during that point where like WCW was really cooking. So unfortunately, like, Sting started to kind of like peter out. The NWO eventually splinters. We get NWO Black and White, which is NWO Hollywood. And then you get NWO Black and Red, which is the Wolfpack. Hollywood is all like heels. Wolfpack is all faces. So Sting joins the Wolfpack, obviously, and he starts doing like the black and red face paint. It doesn't really go over as well with some people, partially because he like also like decided to grow a goatee at this time, and
Yeah.
it kind of works sometimes, and it kind of doesn't.
Some promo shots look pretty cool.
Yeah.
No joke. But in ring, I don't know. It didn't really work that well.
Yeah, and this is like during the downturn of WCW, so that eventually leads to AOL Time Warner selling it off to Vince. And the final episode of Nitro is Sting and Flair going out in the main event, just like the first episode of Nitro ever, and that was seemingly going to be the end of Sting's wrestling career, because WWE and didn't want to buy out his contract. They couldn't come to terms with like, okay, you're gonna come over here and like wrestle for us now. So he kind of just semi-retired. I think it's like a year and a half later he reappears on a European tour. Let me get the name here, for World Wrestling All Stars. So they kind of like bopped around the UK and like Germany and stuff like that. And then, he does like a couple of like indie dates, and he makes some appearances for NWA slash TNA at this point in time.
Okay.
Yeah. So eventually he goes on to like full-time working for TNA after like a couple of years of like doing like contract appearances, where like he'll be there for like a week or two and do like, a match here and there and stuff like that. But eventually he goes to like full-time working there. It works like pretty well. Like he puts like the company on his back. And then, they form like probably the first time that Sting goes full heel is the faction, the Main Event Mafia, which is kind of like the old like WWE vets taking charge of TNA. So he's got him, Nash, Booker T, Kurt Angle, stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
but like Sting isn't really comfortable being a heel. You know, he wants to be a face, which
Okay.
leads to him making a shift uh, back to kind of like probably his strangest incarnation of his character. He goes back to like the Crow Sting kind of look, uh, but he starts becoming more and more unhinged, heavily inspired by Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yes.
So Joker Sting kind of like becomes this weird sort of prankster, not quite malevolent force. He's more like an anti-hero who terrorizes the heels of TNA and like harasses them with like an actual live crow
Yep.
occasionally.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. There's some pretty great stuff. Like he plays a lot of mind games with people at this point in his career. Um,
Yeah, I
but
was gonna say this is the time where like you can tell he's actually heavily influenced by Heath Ledger's Joker, not just from those antics, but uh, the long game play he's trying to do
yeah,
at this point. Like it's very Joker related, where it's like, what's his actual?
yeah. He seems to be more of an agent of chaos at this point than anything. And it's pretty great. And
It's awesome.
yeah. Uh, he's still like, we'll revisit that like a little bit for some points in time, but not so much. Um, then like 2014 rolls around and he's like, okay, I'm kind of done now. He gets inducted into TNA's Hall of Fame. Uh, and it's just kind of like, okay, that's it for Sting. But then like something kind of unexpected happens. WWE came a knocking, and he starts appearing on like their media. Like he was in a retrospective special for I think Ultimate Warrior and stuff like that. He starts promoting their was it 2K 15. He does like a advertisement for it. They start selling his merch. And then like Survivor Series happens of that year, and like Sting's in a WWE ring for the first time ever. Uh, but I'm gonna be honest, like this is probably like the saddest in-ring portion of his career. Like he does a couple of like TV spots, only like a handful of matches, and he loses like his big WrestleMania match against Triple H. Even with like because there's like a ton of shenanigans. Like DX comes out, interferes. NWO comes out, interferes. He gets taken out with a sledgehammer. It's really just Vince wanting to put like WWE over WCW like one last time, basically. Even
Well, so
nobody
I have a
else
question.
cares. Yeah.
I have a question about this because wasn't there supposed to be in WCW a Hulk Hogan versus Sting match that never happened?
Uh, it's possible. More than that though was Sting and Undertaker. That's what Sting really
Oh, is that
wanted.
what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that just like never came to pass. Um, Part of it is because like Sting was kind of like always pushing for it, and like nobody at WWE really was. Um, and unfortunately, like he took kind of like this idea of like, okay, I'm gonna do a program with Seth Rollins with the understanding that I can make this work towards an Undertaker match. But unfortunately, he takes a buckle bomb from Seth the wrong way and ends up injuring his back pretty fucking bad, and he just gets shelved basically. And that's kind of like, okay, that's the end of Sting in ring. He still makes like some appearances here and there, and he gets inducted into WWE's Hall of Fame in 2016, and kind of like officially announces his retirement at that speech. But yeah, no final championship run, no dream match against Taker. He makes a couple more appearances for like not like in ring, but like on
Mhm.
shows and stuff. And it's just like kind of like a slow walk into the sunset. Um, and they rightfully so, they do keep him under contract until 2020. Um,
Yeah.
which is kind of
just in
nice.
case.
Yeah, just to be like, we're not gonna kick you to the curb and like do you super dirty. We're just not gonna give you your final send off basically. Um,
Yeah,
I think
we're
one
gonna
of the
do you dirty. We're just not gonna do you that.
yeah, I think one of his last appearances on TV for WWE was Ric Flair's 70th like birthday or something like that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
yeah,
I do. Yeah. Oh God. So...
yeah.
I
But
was like,
yeah, it's kind of sad that he never really got like those like big matches for WWE. He just they treated him like a big deal for sure,
mhm.
but they didn't give him like a lot to work with. Like I don't think he had any like wins in WWE. I think he took losses in all of his matches probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So it made me realize Vince still had bruised ego when it came to WCW.
Yeah.
That was just another chance for him to punch down and
Mm,
use Sting to do it. It's awful because like Sting is the icon. Like
yeah. Like
like there are matches that people know about from Sting without realizing that it's Sting sometimes because that's how widespread he was,
like he is
especially
a
during the 90s, early 2000s.
I mean, dude, they ran his Sprite commercial where he beats up a kid for
Yeah,
like a full on decade.
dude, seriously. Seriously.
Mhm. um yeah, it's sad and I kind of wish like if he hadn't gotten injured, maybe he would have gotten more out of that run with WWE. But like you're 100% with like him being kind of like mistreated a little bit because of Vince's ego about WCW. That's one of the main reasons he didn't sign with WWE for a long time because he saw like Booker T getting like fed to John Cena and stuff like that.
Yep.
And he's just like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be like just your punching bag for WCW, you know?
It's crazy to me. It's crazy because like Booker T is one of those is a perfect example. He's a
Yeah.
perfect example because he's one of those that should have been put over.
Mm-hmm.
He should have been champion. He should have
Fine.
had a huge title reign. Huge title. Like just he probably should have been the one to set the new record, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, but got completely fucked over by Vince because of the whole WCW thing.
I
Because
mean,
he wouldn't let bygones be bygones after he bought it.
yeah. I mean, like, let's face it. Like, we have known for not just like decades, but generations at this point that Vince is a petty bitch.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. But you know what? Thankfully, 2020 had a bright spot in it. Um, Now they were teasing this for a little bit with Darby Allen and him hanging out in the rafters. At the time, Darby didn't know what the deal was until eventually they told him of like, no, this is why you're doing it. And the crowd got to know on December 2nd at the first AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. Uh, yeah, a silly little tie-in for a Game of Thrones show, a little bit of cross-promotional marketing.
Yep.
5 matches on just like a special episode of Dynamite. Um, sure, I mean the main event was Moxley and Omega for the world title, but everybody the next day was talking about the match before that, where it's Darby and Cody taking on Team Taz and a tag team. And it's a pretty standard fare kind of tag team match. And just at the end, as Cody's about to get pummeled with the FTW title, the lights go out and the music hits. It's snowing in Jacksonville, Florida, and Tony Schiavone is screaming like he's 20 years younger. It's Sting. And he gets like just oh god. This is one of those moments that kind of gives you chills. Um he just calmly, like stoic as ever, walks down to the ring and just eye fucks each one of the people that's in that ring, like starting with Arn Anderson and then Dustin and Cody till he finally lands on Darby, who is the only one that stand up and like meet him in the eyes out of like the active wrestlers. But this kicks off like their alignment, and I gotta say, like this set the blueprint for how like every old wrestler should prepare to ride out their last run. Like
Mhm.
him and Darby as a tag team have gone completely undefeated. It started off with a cinematic match that they did in the warehouse against Team Taz, and it's just been so goddamn fun. He's in his 60s. He can't move the way he used to. He doesn't have the boundless stamina he did when he was like 26 or 36. But still, like a Sting match on a show is a guaranteed banger because that old man will climb whatever he can find and dive onto somebody more like less than half his age and just like put himself through a table at 65 goddamn years old because he knows it's showtime and he's gonna put on a goddamn show.
Sting has been one of the biggest. Him and Darby Allin together
Mm.
have been one of the biggest reasons I feel is to watch AEW,
Mhm.
especially for tag team. Because, like, gosh darn, he puts on a damn good show every time, especially this last bit of the run.
Yeah.
Because we're coming at the end now. Oh, just mwah, 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 mwah. That's just chef's kiss. Because it's
Giving
everything is
he's
Sting.
got.
Yeah, he's giving it
Dude.
everything he's got. And like I respect the guy like before this, but like this right now, like he's been quoted as saying he's like, look, the little stingers aren't little anymore, and I'm gonna give them everything I got because they gave me so much, you know?
God, I almost want to cry right now because it's just like I've been watching this dude my whole freaking life,
Yeah.
whole life, and it's just crazy that he's actually getting to have his moment,
Yeah.
and he's doing it in the traditional sense. It feels like too.
It-
Uh,
and he's going
he's
out on
following
his
traditions.
terms. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
I can't wait
I'm
to
gonna
watch
get to
tonight. Because I'm assuming pretty much at least two of the three of us are going to watch this.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching
tonight.
it live.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I can't wait. Sting, you're the GOAT, sir. You're the icon. You shaped wrestling, brother.
Yeah.
You shaped wrestling.
Like, dude, it's crazy to me that the man has been in the wrestling business long enough to inspire multiple generations of wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his most recent bit going on now is calling back to all of those old
Yeah.
in all the right ways. This isn't just like doing it for doing its sake. Like it's being done right. Like it's being managed with love, care, and like what was it, Tuesday or Monday or whatever? When the Young Bucks came out they wanted to destroy Sting, and
Oh, Wednesday.
you got the call back Wednesday. Thank
Yeah.
you. You got the call back with all the people wearing Sting masks, and you're thinking,
Yeah.
oh, Sting is in there.
Yeah.
No, it's Darby Allin.
Yeah. And you know
It's
what?
Darby Allin.
I'm going to say this. I would have been happy if he was in the crowd wearing a Sting mask. I
Mhm.
would have been fine with that. But no, Sting has something else up his sleeve. Something that he hasn't done since Owen Hart died. And that is coming down from the rafters, rappelling in like goddamn Batman. How? 65 years old. God.
Gotta say though, shout out to the Young Bucks, my
Mhm.
boys. They sold that moment.
Yeah, they
The
did.
fear in their eyes was like it was palpable. It was
Dude,
palpable.
how hard do you think it was for them to keep their backs turned while he was coming down? Because like if they
Seriously.
turned around, they would have been fucking marking out, dude. I would have been
Yeah.
losing my shit.
Oh yeah.
But I
Same.
want to watch. But I want to watch.
Yeah.
Oh dude, the moment was perfect. Like it was all done right. Like because you're expecting Sting
Yeah.
in the group. You're like, okay, I know this trope. No,
Mhm.
no, 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 no. We're modifying this because we still have to put Darby over and make
Mhm.
sure that you all understand that Darby helped make all of this happen.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Yeah. I
When
think
Darby has his moment, like Darby goes out there, he
Mhm.
gets to have a little bit of fun. He gets to chew the scene up a bit.
Yeah.
The Young Bucks get to chew the scene as well. You know, you get some great action in ring, but it's that moment where Sting comes down, man. Like everybody went silent. Everybody went silent for a moment because everybody's like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
oh fuck!" It was so fucking good. It was so good.
It made me feel like a kid, dude. I popped so hard at that
Oh,
moment. I was
dude,
uh like
I sent it to you boys the very next morning.
yeah.
Like I was like, "Yep, yep."
Mhm. That's like in a final run that has been filled with fantastic moments of Sting doing some batshit crazy motherfucking shit for a 60-plus-year-old man to be doing. That moment was like just cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved the tease earlier in the show where the Bucks go to his dressing room and the bats are hanging from the ceiling and his bomber jacket's hanging up. So then, oh no, he's busting out the trench coat. He's
He's going full Crow Sting here.
yeah. Uh,
Oh man, I am excited for tonight.
mhm.
Any of you who are listening to this, obviously it's already happened. So
Yeah.
let us know what you thought of the match.
Yeah. Please
Uh,
do.
How do you think his send off? Because I like going off of how everything's gone so far. I have a feeling this is going to be just an
Oh, yeah.
send off, an amazing end to an amazing.
Yeah, like there is nobody better to pair him with in his corner than Darby and opponents as the Young Bucks. Because those three combined are going to be able to just make every moment count and be able to just, okay, whatever happens, we can handle it and we can make this pure gold. And it's about,
Oh yeah,
and it deservedly is the main event tonight.
oh yeah, and it should be. I mean, come
How
on,
could it
like
not?
Yeah.
Like you got Sting, who yes, rightfully can't do as much as he used to, but you have
Mhm.
the Bucks and Darby in there to make sure he is sold.
Yeah.
Because the Bucks always sell their opponents, always.
Yeah, and Darby will put his body on the line to get anything done. That guy
Seriously.
is he's a daredevil stuntman in a wrestler's
Reckless, I
body.
tell ya.
Yeah.
It's reckless.
Oh.
Dude, he went over the top rope uh, over the post one time, and I swear it was like an inch gap where he would have dragged across it, and it was like on purpose so he could dart farther.
Mhm.
Like, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Dude, that dude is a cannonball with legs.
Seriously, imagine pulling the top rope back,
Mhm.
letting him like stand on it, and then letting go. That dude would fly.
Oh,
He would fly.
he would grow wings and fly. He would grow crow wings and fly.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like this is going to be a great end to the run.
Mhm.
I feel like we're going to see a great loss. I feel like Sting's going to go out on his back in all the ways you should traditionally.
In traditional fashion, yeah. I also agree that he's probably gonna go out with a loss, you know, because it's tradition. Sting's a bit of an old school guy, but I wouldn't be upset if they gave him the win tonight too. At the same time,
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be mad about it. I feel like given how he is,
yeah.
it's going to be a loss to me.
And how much heat is that gonna give the Bucks as their heels?
Which is the point, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
this is a great way to put it over the top for the next storyline.
Yeah,
It's going to sell the Young Bucks even more. It's going to sell
Better-
Darby even more because
Better
it'll
you
allow
give-
him to do any sort of turn he wants.
yeah. What's up?
Or
Buff?
give Darby the win.
Oh, let him get the
Like,
pin.
have him basically come in, save Sting in the end, boost him up as a face.
Yeah,
Hey, he's kind of stepping aside for the new talent. So
yeah.
let the
Uh,
new talent show what they got.
I like that. I like that a
I
lot.
like that too. I think that's beautiful.
The true question is Ric Flair gonna pull a Ric Flair and betray Sting one last time?
Yes.
If he doesn't break a hip on his way to the ring,
I can guarantee that he will
they're both
slow
broken.
walk.
Yeah,
He will slow walk into the ring, and then someone's going to give him a low blow.
yeah,
And then he's going to sit in the corner and watch the rest of the match.
yeah. In the ring, like he won't
In
get
the
out
ring.
of the way.
Yeah. That seems to be a constant now with Ric Flair. I'm not gonna lie. This happens almost every time he comes out. He comes out all slow and crotchety, and like he's got that big old smile, and he's doing this, and he like takes 10 minutes to get up the steps, and like 4 guys have to like really push the ropes up and down to let him in.
Do you
And
think
he
he
goes
walks in?
in.
It's like, I got an idea, and they're like, oh yeah, we know, we already got it written down right here. Slow walk in, shambling old man, be an asshole. Yep, we know.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
just you.
He's gonna give 2 chops, and then someone's gonna come up behind, probably Kristen Cage, and wham! Blow.
But will he bleed?
Yes, actually, he will. He will bleed,
Yeah. It's Ric Flair. He's got fucking blade, dude. Come on.
dude.
One last
seriously.
time.
Motherfucker's gonna, his head's gonna touch the turnstile. Just fucking touch it, slightly, just slightly. There's gonna be blood everywhere,
Like a gusher. Oh,
dude.
Paper mache is easy to break.
Yep.
We have to go all out though. It's Sting,
Yeah.
you know. It's Sting. We got to pull out everything. I expect a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
A smorgasbord.
A smorgasbord.
Awesome.
Oh God. I'm so happy that for once there's a wrestler going out of their in-ring career with dignity.
Mhm.
It's not a common occurrence.
No, it's exceedingly rare.
But AEW seems to be more and more willing to be that place for them to be able to
Yeah.
do it.
I mean, look at Rob Van Dam. Like, dude can still go. He's getting a final run, apparently. Weed will do miracles, apparently, for the body.
Right, seriously. I mean, his memory seems to be a lot better nowadays than it was just a few years ago. So,
Yeah.
seeing some of the interviews and stuff, he seems more there again, which is nice.
Yeah. Like, let the man fucking wrestle. He can still go.
Hell yeah. Just don't hit him in the head with a chair anymore.
That's mean.
Watch
Don't
the
do that.
knees.
Watch the knees. Yeah. You have
Remember
any?
to tuck when you frog splash.
You boys have any predictions for who's going to be in the audience tonight to see Sting's like final farewell? Because my money's on Lex Luger being there.
Yeah, I do believe he will be there.
We know Flair will be around, obviously. Do you think RoboCop's going to make an appearance?
You
I would
fucking
love
better.
that. I would love that. I feel like if there is any WWE talent that are still part of WWE, they won't show themselves.
Yeah, I think Nash has said that he won't be there. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is.
I think we're gonna be surprised. I think we're gonna see some old faces pop up
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of people that Sting has gone up against over the years. He made a lot of friends in WCW.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a pretty heavy crowd. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm just going to take a quick peek at
But a lot of them are going to be watching from backstage.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
let me see what we got here as far as like tickets sold. That doesn't help. Apparently, it's sold out, so whatever that is.
I figured.
15,389 tickets. Oh, but this is from
Okay.
February 2nd.
So it's been sold out probably for.
Yeah,
Who knows? It's probably upwards of like 30 or something.
it might be.
But still, like it's going to be a huge show. Check it out on pay-per-view, everybody. If you haven't already, there's probably websites and stuff to check out after the fact since it's releasing again.
Oh, yeah. And then let's take a peek at what else is on the card tonight. So we got that. We got the triple threat with Hangman, Samoa Joe, and Swerve for the title. Tony Storm, Deonna Purrazzo, OC versus Roddy for international champ. We got Eddie versus Bryan. Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita, which is guaranteed gonna be a banger. Like those guys.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Christian,
Yeah, dude.
Daniel Garcia. That's another one to look forward to.
Mhm.
FTR Mox and versus Claudio going up. We got an 8-man scramble because Meat Madness got canceled. Apparently,
We
like,
had an 8-man scramble last night too.
oh yeah, Oh yeah, that's right, on Collision, right?
Uh-huh.
Nice. 0 Hours got Chris Statlander and Will Nightingale going against Julia Hart, Sky Blue, just some fun. And a 12-man tag. We got the Bang Bang Scissor Gang going up
that's
against
right.
Jeff Jarrett with was that Brian Keith and Private Party. So okay, this is
Yeah,
gonna
and
be a
Private Party.
yeah,
Yeah,
just gonna be some madness going on in the pre-show. It looks like
it's gonna be fun.
yeah,
It's gonna be fun. I think the Osprey match is going to steal it from the other ones, other than the Sting send off.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
it's his first match officially as a
mhm.
roster member of AEW. He's gonna put on a
Full
show.
time roster member.
Yeah, full time.
Oh, full time.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Any of you who don't know, we've talked about Will Ospreay
Mm.
a little bit here and there.
We've talked about the
is-
meme more than anything of him.
More
doing
than
the-
me, more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like huge in Japan and all that.
Mhm.
Just a great wrestler. Him and Kenny Omega have done some great fucking work together.
Dude, Wrestle Kingdom's just, oh god.
Dude, that's something we're gonna have to talk about at some point.
Yeah. And then reportedly this week's Dynamite coming up is when we're gonna see the first appearance of Okada in AEW, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. Rainmaker's coming to AEW.
Oh yes. Dude, Okada's like he's a goat, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like that dude, he puts on a goddamn show.
Every time, dude, he eats the scene. I know
Mhm.
I've been just saying that a lot because you brought it up earlier, but dude, he seriously chews the scene, man.
Yeah.
He's such a good wrestler.
And dude, the entrance. Oh,
Uh-huh.
making money rain
Dude.
from the sky.
It's gonna be great. But let us know what you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let us know what you think of the pay-per-view and of Monday night.
Yeah, give us give us the reactions, drop us some comments in this podcast. Hit us up on the socials at nightoff pod. Basically everywhere. Links in the
Yeah.
description for, all of us online and like our merch. If you want to get yourself a fancy new t-shirt or a hoodie or something like that, we got all that business cooking. Any final thoughts before we call it a day, boys? No?
I would say thank you, Sting, again
Yeah.
for just being amazing. Like seriously, you are an amazing wrestler. You're an amazing person, and I hope nothing but for the best for you and whatever life holds for you after you're fully retired.
Yeah.
Good luck in your show tonight that already happened.
We wish you the
We're
best.
time
Yeah.
travelers.
Yeah,
We're
we're
time
time traveling right now, boys. I don't think I could put it any better than Darby Allin did in the Players Tribune article that he wrote about Sting. I didn't just get to meet a hero. I got to find out he's a hero worth having.
That's a great fucking quote.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to cry.
Yeah.
Cry. That is so fucking adorable.
You just let it out, man.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Men
Oh.
can cry, Derek. It's okay.
Oh, I know, dude. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I'm self-aware, Derek. This is not like 2020, Derek.
Well, a whole 4 years, huh?
I can't wait until like 2028. Derek is like, not like I'm 2024, Derek.
Yeah. What a punk ass.
What a punk ass bitch. Look at
Uh,
him. Look at him. Thinking he could like keep a little bit of hair. Look at him.
Look at
By
him.
that point, I'm gonna be shaving it all the way down, probably.
Yeah, just beck it, bro. But thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week. And as always, thank you for joining us on your night off. Good night, everybody.
And everybody.
Good night, everybody.